It's all about language and words.
You know, and since I talked to you yesterday, another thing that I gleaned after we talked is that when you take the term girlfriends, you know, like you said, hey girlfriend to a girl.
Yes.
The opposite about that, or in the same terminology, is that a guy will say, hey bud, or hey buddy. Mm-hmm. It's almost the same thing. I don't think girls say that. Do you?
No.
You don't say hey buddy. You know,
you don't hear women saying buddy. Women say girlfriend.
Right.
Just like you don't hear men say boyfriend. Men say buddy or pal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so I had wondered, how come we take it as gay if a man says boyfriend, but we won't take it as gay if a woman says girlfriend. That's what the story is
I
about.
just think, look, it's a matter of that's the way it's always been,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so if you want to make a shift in that, right, it starts by this, right? And that's kind of what you're trying to do, perhaps, right? Is make that socially acceptable to call someone that. Right, and so there are people that will think that's socially acceptable, and there are people that won't. I think forever. Do you think forever?
I would say it's a big question.
Right. Will it ever be acceptable for me to see another woman and say, hey, what's up, bud?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Because the term bud or pal has always been defined as, or in the dictionary, maybe. Is it? I don't know. I don't know what the definition of buddy is it's probably a friend, So I guess the more people that do it, the more it will become acceptable, right?
I agree with what you're saying. Also, the reason why I believe there's possible could be a change, because when I look at how life has changed over the years with, the clothing, like I told him yesterday with the clothing, and even also with the history of this country. Yeah. Now, I'm not racist at all. It's not in my heart to hate people, but look at how things used to be with black people, with this country, started off in slavery.
Oh, yeah.
But over time, over all these years, look how things have changed.
Yeah.
It took a lot of hard work and took a lot of time, but it's changed. We're no longer in slavery, and people are no longer by law segregated. Things have changed.
Yes.
Like I said, it took a lot of work and a lot of time, but things have changed.
Yes.
And even when you look at the clothing, I see what he's saying about different countries and different cultures.
Yes.
But when you look at the clothing, years ago when pants were first invented, pants in this country, pants were viewed only as a man's garment.
Correct.
They weren't a woman's garment; it was a man's garment. And so later, women felt like they wanted to be able to wear the same garment that the man wears. You know? And so, to just express that, I'm sure at first it wasn't accepted, but it took a lot of work and it took time.
Yes.
And look how the custom changed today.
Yeah, it's possible.
Women are allowed to wear pants.
Yes.
And so I'm sure that the first time anybody seen a woman in pants, they might have thought, well, you gay, you fat, you sissy. How could you wear pants? That wasn't made for you.
Yeah.
But now it's been going on for so many years now.
Yeah.
This here, the human eye, has gotten used to seeing women wearing pants.
Correct.
So now we think nothing of it. So I feel like if work and time can change the custom of letting women wear pants, then work and time can change the custom and let men wear skirts. Now, no doubt, if it ever gets changed, I'm not saying it will or won't, but if it ever gets changed, of course people are going to think, how can that fag wear pants? wear a skirt? That was a woman's garment.
Yeah.
But after this here gets used to it, maybe it can be more acceptable.
Correct.
See what I mean?
Yes, I agree. I can see that.
One of the things we
can see
discussed
that happening.
yesterday is that part of it's anatomy. As I told you, you sit the way I'm sitting right now. I couldn't sit with a skirt. I just can't sit that way.
You can if you want. You can do whatever you want, Joe. You can.
I know, but seriously, and we all talk about like men in Scotland wear kilts, and in ancient Rome and ancient Greece there was people wore tunics, and they wore kind of skirts like that. So part of that is just because of the customs and of different cultures. I think that puts a real play in it. What you're talking about, I think, is interesting. Is that you're talking about American culture, and American culture being different. I think the thing with the women in pants is, number one, I think a lot of it's comfortable. Comfortability.
Yeah, it is for me. I don't wear a lot of dresses.
If a woman doing something active.
I prefer pants.
And I think that made a difference. And so a lot of it just is just a matter of, it makes sense to do that.
Well, listen, there are people that are going to want to and I think that's what Marcus is talking about. You know, you wouldn't wear a skirt. You don't know how to sit in a skirt. It's not your thing.
No.
But there are men that when they do wear a skirt, they're going to know how to sit with a skirt, right?
Crossing your legs.
And
etc.
his point is that fast forward 25 years, it's not going to, you know, now if you're in the mall and you're like, oh my God, look at that guy, he's wearing a skirt.
Right.
The more people that are doing it, it's just going to be a normal thing.
And similar to what you're saying, look at how years ago, when it came to music, cussing was not allowed in music.
No.
Well, it's loud today.
know.
Some people are still offended by it, but the others accept it. You know,
Yes.
Right.
You see things on TV today that you didn't see 60 years ago.
Of course.
When things first get started,
Yeah.
you know, it's still rejected. Well, I should say when things first get allowed,
Yes.
it's still going to be rejected until the human eye and the human ear get used to it, and then
Yes.
you see it being accepted more. That's why I said, you know, I believe that